Hello, this is Delamere, and welcome to another video of Skyblock with the Metacraft community. And in this video, there's lots we're going to be doing. There's going to be a lot of farms, and it's going to be epic.
Did you hear the explanation for what happened to you?
I heard that I got pushed into the water, but I didn't hear about the rest. Oh, I must have been drowning or something, wasn't I?
You were stuck. Yeah, so I accidentally pushed you in the water stream, and I was like, oh no, he's going to drown. So I started trying to, gather slabs to break the water source, but I was doing it really poorly. And so you started taking damage, and one-shot solution was to just kill you.
I was like, we might as well get the head. That was my. But if it makes you feel any better, we're about to kill ourselves.
You're about to die again anyway. But
yeah.
I'm gonna. I can show you guys what I needed. We need your heads for afterwards.
Okay.
Very good. All right. Well, so that is actually much more fair. 32 gold ingots for a head, I think, is a fair price. So, yeah. Who wants to die first?
It makes no difference to me. I don't give a care.
Awesome. Oh, I missed.
It's
perfectly.
No. My evasion is peak.
I'm so good at PvP. You have no idea.
Mad hacks. There we go.
Oh, thank you very much. This is great. I appreciate it. I'll be back momentarily with your gold, okay?
Oh, fantastic.
What did I just got in my head? Well, I've been playing around in my redstone testing world, and I have come up with this particular design. Took a lot of playing around. I realized that I needed to turn it from 3. I thought I was saving some space. I had to add a block layer in. So now it's, instead of 3 high for each layer, it is now 4 high. So I am going to be doing a bit of a tutorial for you guys. Now, this is obviously not the most efficient farm in the world, but as you guys may know from previous videos that I have done, I do prefer things to look cool over functional. So yes, it is not as good as it could be, but do you really need it when you've got 104 potential and this thing's just constantly triggering? Even after just, I think it was about 15 minutes of running, it's already got pretty much 5 stacks of sugarcane already in there. So I think it's doing pretty good. So to do this Let's Play style tutorial, I'm going to be doing the first layer because that one has all of the clocks inside of it. And then I'll be doing the second layer, and it's the second layer that you're going to be repeating, as well as showing the installation of the overflow protection, in which will allow you to make sure that your farm turns off once those chests underneath it have completely filled up, so that you don't have this running when it does not need to. So let's get ourselves popped back onto the Skyblock world, and we are going to start building this thing. Guys, I've just discovered something in the calculation of this massive project. Sometimes you forget about how much iron is needed for each and every single one of these pistons. And from my calculations, it's 112 iron. I might have enough for that, but I think we're starting to get a little bit lean on iron, so I think I'm going to be making an iron farm in this video out of just complete necessity. Right, so I'm just prepping the very center of where I'm going to be putting in this massive square sugarcane. I can't even call it it's a farm, but it's like a tower farm. Oh, it looks like Manly Birch has just left. He popped on briefly. It's not really necessary to get this directly in the center of this platform, but One Shot Robot had in fact made this nice platform where he had sugarcane planted here for a while, and he had wheat here, and it was just like a little bit of a farm that was being used for whatever else. So I wanted to make this line up quite nicely with this path, because I do want to connect this path right here up with the path right up there. So I may as well make it all align. So because we're in a Skyblock world, we really want to make sure that we do start at the bottom, the very bottom of the build, which means I need to know how tall I'm going to be making this right off the bat, immediately at the start. I was thinking of putting a row of 4 chests at the very beginning of this. So here we are, getting those chests in first. And by knowing exactly where the chests will be fitting into this particular build, we'll understand where we need to put the first platform. So just as a reminder, obviously you cannot open a chest if you've got a block over it like this. So in this occasion, I'm going to be putting a block right down here, or I mean a hopper, excuse me. And then this is where the actual platform itself will be starting. And I'll be making that whole thing. It's a 7x7 platform. That's going to be right in the center like this. That's where it's beginning. Next, let's go and quickly just put in the dirt for the very first layer. Now for the next part here, we've got in all of our dirt for the very first module. I've got some water here as well. Now this is something very useful that came out in, I think it might have came out in 1.15 or 1.16, but you can waterlog blocks, as you know. But what's important about this is depending on the shape, especially with like stairs like these, you can block or make water, like right there. Let me show you what I mean there. I'll grab a bucket of water, and if I put it over here, you'll notice that the water stays. It's not leaking out, it's not going anywhere, it's just there. But if I was to put it here, you'll notice it immediately spills out the side. So we don't want that to happen, obviously. So what we're going to go and do is you're going to line it up with that block over there, and we're going to turn it into one of those corner stair blocks. And by doing that, it traps the water inside. So this is a very, very good method of compressing down a sugarcane farm so that you don't need to worry about water going all over the place, and you don't have to have water constantly in front. You can put it on around back. But this one we're going to go and do all around for the other 3 parts of this module. Now we just got to march on, going and putting another layer on here. Obviously I am putting logs, not because it needs to be logs, I'm sure you guys understand that, but just in case you don't. These are just decoration. It could be any block that you want. Now that we got some logs on down, covering up that section there, let's throw on down the sugarcane, because why not? You can get it on in. And now we're going to go and put in our pistons. Now with these pistons, I am using just standard pistons. They're not sticky pistons. Now we're going to begin digging into our quartz resources here and our redstone. All we need is 2 observers for this particular build. I learned this from Tango Tech recently. Is if you take the observation just off of that sugarcane right there, it has so many changes, and the observer can detect those changes and turn that into a redstone signal for the rest of the build. And so which being, we're going to start needing to go and make a bunch of repeaters throughout. But those, I'm going to have one here, and let's go and throw another one onto the other side, right here. These are the clocks. This is what is going to be controlling. Oh, I did not intend to put stairs there. This is what's going to be controlling the entire build. This is going to be the clock that controls when the whole thing fires off and produces our sugarcane. Alright, so the next part of this here is just going to go and throw a row of blocks along here, and right here is where we're going to be putting strips of redstone dust, and we're going to need to connect these also up, so we do need to get some repeaters down as well, but this part here, that needs to go on every single one of these little ledges. Alright, I got myself some redstone repeaters to go and throw in, but just something that I thought I should remind you guys about is that I recommend putting down some lighting in these places as well. So I recommend just putting in a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern, I guess it's called this occasion, right in these corners here. And I like to put one in every single corner. Now coming out the back here of this observer, right along here, we're just going to throw that on down, and we're going to go and put right there a block, and you're looking at these blocks here. That's our aim. Just like that. Then we're going to go and throwing down a redstone repeater here and also here. And you're going to be putting it on both sides there. There will be also a glass or slab tower that you're going to be putting from the very bottom to the very top. It's just so much easier though to use glass than it is slabs. It's a lot less problematic to play with. So do whatever works best for you. Now there's the next part here. We're just going to put in just like a few blocks in this little bit of a Z pattern right here, and then you throw down your redstone dust and the repeater there. So you do it on this corner as well as on the other corner, which I've already done, just like that. And by doing this, you have connected up the whole thing. So at this point, the whole module is complete, and as you see, it is functioning. We are getting sugarcane already, and as I've been wandering around, my sugarcane supplies has been quickly increasing. But we're going to be making another 3 modules. Now, the other 3 modules are not the same as this one. These right here will not be present. You're not going to need to have an observer on every single level, since this one triggers very often, more often than is necessary for the rest of the build. So the final things that we need for this part of the module is just to throw down a redstone torch here, and also another redstone torch on this side. And that brings out all the pistons, and you can see quite obviously that this would turn off the entire farm. Now the purpose of this is simply to prevent lag. You don't want this farm running when it doesn't need to, and then you won't have a bunch of items collecting in the hopper there when there's no space left. So I'm just going to go back down below, and we are going to go and connect up the rest of the build here, specifically the overflow protection. Now to get started onto the overflow protection, we'll be throwing down a comparator right here coming out, and it's going to be looking for items going into this hopper right here. And I'm just going to remember where exactly our redstone torches are. So just build out this direction right here, and there should be torch right there, and that's what we're building towards. Now just think about it this way, right on this block here, there's going to be a redstone torch. So let's just build on down till we get to this point. So it's going to be a redstone torch going right here. You hear them all turn off on that side. And then we're going to be just putting a line of redstone dust on all the way down, feeding into there. So it's going to be a little bit. It is what, 1, 2, it is 10 pieces of redstone dust before it actually gets there. So this hopper is going to be very close to full by the time it locks up the entire system. Now that we got that side figured out, we're going to go and stretch this on over to the other side as well. We're just going to be doing that by bringing this side over and out through here. Actually, you know what? I was thinking of putting a path going up through this way, and I think it wouldn't be all that great if there is a redstone line coming on through there. So I'm going to get rid of that, and instead of going on this way, because it really doesn't matter where the line of redstone goes, as long as it isn't any more than 15 redstone dust in length for the power level, this should not be any problem for us. Well, unfortunately, this is definitely more than 10. In fact, this is more than 15, I'm pretty sure. Right there's 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 right there. Well, it's not the biggest deal in the world. We'll just chuck down a redstone repeater and continue on from there, and then throw down our redstone repeater. Our overflow protection is complete. Well, we may as well throw down our water to complete this module. Now I'm going to leave this one here as is, because we are going to be, it's in fact this block here that we need to worry about, but we're just going to put one water block in every single corner. Oh, it's a good thing that I closed that one up. But you just need one water block in every single corner, and it'll push all the items right to the center. Now we just got to go and break these extra water block sources there, and we should be ready to go. You see that right in the center? You've got a dead spot right there where all the items are going to collect. You see, I'm already collecting them. So already we are producing sugarcane. I'm just going to break one of these pumpkins for now so that we can get on to making the next level. And in order to make the next level, you got to make another line of blocks across these pistons along here. Well, starting onto the next module, it is very similar to how we started the first one. You just bring it on out. We're going to be going and put down some more dirt, going all the way along here, just like the other ones. As I said before, very samey. Putting down once again these, which are going to fill up with water as well. Alright, we got our stairs in, and we got the water on in as well. So here's the major difference. You're not going to be having any observers in any of these corners here. Now you're going to throw down your jack-o'-lanterns. On top of those, let's throw down our pistons. And then we're just going to go and put a line of wood or blocks along each side of these pistons here. And finally throwing down redstone dust across those. Well, we're not really fully ready to go and put down the sugarcane just yet, but you know what? Let's throw it on down. Because the next part we're going to be going into is going to involve going and getting in the towers that will connect all the other layers together. And also, by connecting all the layers together, it is also allowing for the overflow protection to connect all the layers together at the exact same time. Well, I couldn't help myself. I've got 2 librarians, so I may as well use glass. So I've got some glass here. I'm going to be starting to go and put down some redstone on top of that. You see how easy it is just to go and plop down a glass block just right on top? So easy. And you just keep building it up as you go for each layer. For this bit, just going to be throwing and putting down a block right here, and a block here. And from there, you're going to need a repeater that's going to go into there, redstone dust, and you're going to do the exact same thing for this side as well. And there we go. This side has already been fully connected up. We just go over to the other side. You can see immediately it starts working. So that's the stuff I was talking about right there. For the most part, it doesn't matter. It's a pretty efficient farm on its own. It produces so much that who cares. But if you really wanted this thing to be efficient, as I said before, sticky pistons and a solid block on top of it at the bare minimum, preferably a sticky piston with a slime block on top of it. That will just guarantee that it's going to work exactly as it's supposed to. So just running over all the way out to the other side here, and we're going to put another glass tower right here. And this full module, this is fully connected up. You can move on to making more layers. Now this is where I'm going to stop here for this tutorial, and what I think I'm going to do, just for the sake of showing you guys the entire process, I'm going to go and do the rest of this in a bit of a third-person time lapse. Now before I get started into that time lapse, there is one thing that I forgot to mention, which you can do to help improve the efficiency of this farm, is just what I did with the first layer there. You can put also that same little squiggly Z along here as well. It's fully doable. It's not necessary. Everything is already connected up on both sides, but by having it set up like that, it will fire 3 modules instead of just 2 every single time. So, I mean, it's not necessary, but heck, it's kind of a why not situation, really. And it's really all there is to it. Do the same thing on the other side. And there we have it. 4 layers going. And I am thinking about going and making some more layers. Maybe as much as an additional 4 layers, and it has nothing really to do with the speed, the amount, how quickly it generates, because I mean it's only been a few minutes and I'm already at, including that little chunk there, basically at 3.5 stacks. It's marching along very quickly, but it would just make it look a little bit more, I don't know, not so much symmetrical as look more like a tower or something like that, I guess. But yeah, it's doing good. Well guys, after the creation of that sugarcane farm, I got like super into like sprucing up the area. I just couldn't leave it plain. I just couldn't. It needed to look good. So this is what I've come up with, and I think it turned out very well. It's simple but effective, and it gives a lot of personality to this area here, and I think it fits in with what One Shot Robot has been doing here as well, and it's pulling together, finally beginning to pull together. It's beginning to stop feeling like the beginning of Skyblock, where everything is cobble, and this is, I'm hoping, slowly to disappear. But that leads into our next project. We got this critter here. I'm thinking, as I said before, I'm going to add some more layers to it later on, but it has been maybe, I don't know, 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that, of just AFKing, and it's getting there. We've got basically 1.5 full double chests of sugarcane. This is really efficient despite being lossy. So what I want to do next is, well, there's a few projects I want to do next. I want to turn this right here on the inside. We have our mob grinder, and there's always mobs in there. So I wanted to go and turn that into an automated mob grinder. But to do that, I need like around 2 or 3 stacks of iron ingots. Where did you come from? No. Oh, no, seriously, where the heck did this guy come from? 64 point. You know what? I bet he came from like one of these trees. He's probably up here. And that right there is, I would guess, is a spawnable spot. Yes, that it is. Oh, they've been spawning off the trees. Oh, that was scary. Oh, man. Okay. Back to what I was talking about. That needs iron. That's one project that needs iron. The next project that needs iron is I wanted to get rid of all this, and that is my pumpkin and melon farm. It's more pumpkin heavy than melon, but nevertheless, that is another project that needs iron, and I mean a lot of it. It's going to need probably another 2 stacks of iron for that. Point being, I need iron, so I'm going to be making an iron farm. I think I'm going to put it over here, but that's what we're going to be touching on next. We're going to be building a very, I wouldn't call it a quick and dirty iron farm. It's one that Logical Geek Boy made, except I've changed a couple of things in it. But that's the plan. So let's go and break this guy out of here. And we're on to our very last bit here, doing in the iron farm. I didn't want to show... Oh my, oh my, oh my. Run, 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 run. He'll make his way over. Watch that. He's making his way over. You see that? Yep, he's in bed. All's good. That could have been seriously dangerous. Why hasn't he left his bed yet? Oh, that is so close. I didn't even think about that. He just went into bed and he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm good being here. Now that we have this, we're going to be tearing out this bit of a platform here. We're going to get this iron farm rolling. Going to do a little bit of AFKing. It's supposed to be about 400 iron per hour, which is going to be more than enough. I just need 2 stacks-ish, I think, of iron in order to get this over here, which I've already started the preparations for to turn the mob farm in there into an automated mob farm. And I'm going to be showing you a bit of how I will be doing that. The amount of iron I needed for the next project has already been accumulated and turned into carts, mine carts. So let's go over here to where our mob farm is being housed. And this is what we're going to be going and showing next on how to go and turn this from a manual grinding farm to one that's just for resources. What you're going to want to do first before you do anything else, and I highly recommend this for this particular type of mob farm, you're going to put down a slab and you're just going to pillar on up a few blocks above, and you're going to block this up. This is the very first thing that you need to do so that you do not lose your marbles when trying to get these guys sorted. So you're just going to place down blocks on the inside to block that on up. Remove all mobs. And you can see they're no longer coming on back down. So first off, you're just going to clear out all those slabs at the bottom level. Tear up a little bit higher. I'm going to tear out these, just make it a little bit more detailed. Completely unnecessary. Now that you got a little bit more space, we're going to tear out these blocks right here. So I got an extra chest we're going to throw on right down here. Then you just put your hopper right into there. And let's start building this down. We've got some stone here, stone bricks. Pop those in right on there. So that's the part that's obviously not necessary. I didn't need to remove those, but it looks cool. Next, I'm not going to do this everywhere, but I'm just, for now, going to put them around here and just leave one side open, that one right there. And the final bit there is you're just going to throw down your stair blocks. And this isn't really necessary at all, but except for the one block there. But I figure for the sake of design, let's put them all around and not just the one side. Oops. And we can bring it down here as well. I'm just going to throw a slab so I can get on up. Put down a couple of slabs. And in here, just going to go and put in some more stone bricks right around here. Now that we have all the structure on in, made a path from this side right here, we're just going to bring this up by 1. Put in some blocks right there. We're going to need to put a sign down here. That's going to stop the water from going on in. Put a block on top of there. And then we're just going to put a single rail right there and a block on that side. From there, we're just going to toss the carts on in. And now let's start getting those carts on in. You're just going to go and click normally with the first, but you're going to be looking right at the track right there, the rail track, and you're going to right click with each one. There we go, we got all 24 on in. So I'm just going to break this block, going to get my tools on back in my inventory. Just break that one on down there. They fall down there good and nice. Plop down a block right there. Toss your water down. Where's my water? You just drop it right there. That's all there is to that. Now we're just going to go and let all the mobs on down. Mind you, I did have it up earlier, but there was some issues that I ran into, so I had to redo it. So this may be back on the dangerous side. Okay, not as bad as I thought. You see that? Just died instantly. Ooh. Now there is one problem with spiders here. The spiders will not die. This one doesn't generate a lot of spiders, but there is a way to solve that problem. Since they're not taking any fall damage, the mobs are not taking any fall damage, we can instead put a couple of lava blades in instead to resolve the issue. And since the spiders have such a strong tendency to want to climb back up the walls, they're going to eventually kill themselves, so even one lava blade may be enough to mitigate the problem with the spiders. Really, that's all there is to this build. I am going to be putting in a bit of a filter, put it into the... I want to make an item filter system eventually for all this, because it's just eventually going to get crazy. But it's going to be nice just to have those items being automatically pumped into a storage system. And honestly, for XP, you don't really need XP when you've got a villager trading hall. They give you so much XP. It gives you more than any small like mob grinder possibly could ever give you. But guys, that's it. It's been a lot of fun in this video. I've had a lot of fun building these farms, constructing the thing behind me, this nice little bridge thing, wrapping a bit more of the builds together, designing some new farms. The farms are fun to build. Thank you guys all for watching, and if you liked the video, I really appreciate those likes. I'd really appreciate it. See you guys all in another video. Bye!